Hello, Rhianne.
Hey, Rahasya.
Mhm.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Rhianne van der Linde, and I'm a co-director and senior faculty at the Shakti Shiva Academy, which was founded by Shakti Malan before she died in 2017. And Shakti was a woman who walked her path, walked in truth with absolute totality. And one of the teachers, the beautiful people that she encountered early on, in fact, in her journey was Rahasya. And he initiated her onto the path of becoming a Dakini, a woman of enormous presence and power. And I have a question for Rahasya this evening. He's on the line with us here. Rahasya, I've been curious to hear you speak to the bliss of the beloved, because I know that this was something that quality of very exquisite, very fine bliss that is available to us was something that Shakti experienced in her relating and with you, and that I too have experienced being with you.
Well, first, I don't know. Thanks for looking me up and talking to me in the time of COVID, although miraculously, I saw you in person here not that long ago. Huh?
Yeah, it was a good visit.
But okay, the whole world's gone virtual. I seem to spend more time talking to people in this way. And thanks for what you do with keeping Shakti's work going. I mean, she had such a teaching to bring, and she did so well and so strong with it. And it's really nice to see, you know, it carrying on with such good intensity and growing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the beloved. I think probably half of the people that get interested in Tantra, they're looking for the beloved, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so. We all have such a longing. It's kind of the dream, isn't it? The dream of the beloved.
It's huge, it's strong. Are you hearing me okay? Because there's quite a storm blowing.
That's good. A little bit of wind background, but we can hear you just
Yeah,
fine.
okay. Oh, good. Yeah. Well, with Tantrikas, people hear all sorts of things about the way we do relationships. Some people, here's, you know, some of us will go, oh, we're celibate, and then they'll find out the celibate ones still have sex. And then you get, yes, couples and monogamy. And we call it, when that goes intense, we call that a one robe meditation, like climbing into one robe together for a goodly while to really have the juice of what comes in that closeness, very intensely, very fast. So I suppose it's not unusual for a tantrika to have a few real deep, you know, love of their life, a few deep only ones. Yeah, you can do that too. And some go all poly and multi and laissez-faire and non-monogamy, and all the various styles. But it's all driven by, yeah, the deep mystery, where from cometh this desire. Yeah. It just arises. I insist it comes from the subconscious, because it's beneath your consciousness. Like you can't find it. If you could find it, it would be in the conscious. Now, most of what most people think of their subconscious, that's just their conscious ducking and diving. Because they're conscious of it. But desire, where from comes the urge for Jane and not Joe, or where from comes, you know, that overwhelming interest in pink high heels, or, you know, green lipstick, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Shakti's work, opening to and discovering, getting into, letting yourself find out and feel what you may be wanting. That's huge and very important in there. You know, I tend to be spoiled and work mainly with people who've got more than a damn good idea of what the hell they want to do. But people starting out on the path, people approaching this work and so on, before they find that self-guiding quality of the Tantrika, it's good to be guided in. And yeah, I mean, you're going to be doing focused work on this particular area, this topic, yes?
Yes, we
Fairly
are.
soon?
Starting 1st of February, we're offering the Soulmate within 3-month online course, which is very much looking at the inner beloved and the dance of the masculine and feminine as it currently exists in us, or doesn't exist. Perhaps there isn't even a friendliness at all yet. Start of a conversation. So yeah, something
Your
that
volume's very quiet. Sorry, Rhianne, but your volume's very quiet for me. I'd just like to check that with you that it's okay for the recording. Probably is. Maybe Zoom just makes it quiet.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
One
because yeah, this is a good time to talk about that maybe, and say, you know, a little bit about what are you going to be doing with them.
Well, one of the things that comes to me and also rises out of what you spoke earlier is that our desire is so important, and that it's our desire that's creating our experience and our reality and the world, so to speak. And that if most of us are in the conscious mind, in divided will most of the time, we want something, but we equally fear it or are anxious about it all at the same time. And we really need to work through that in ourselves in very practical, that inner dialogue, starting that inner dialogue is so important.
So if you know, in other words, very much for people who are interested in getting the exterior relationship to work, it's getting in touch with the interior relationship it reflects, getting a bit deep into that, one's own masculine and feminine dialogue and dance, or perhaps war.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, firstly, really coming to know ourselves as the beloved and the aspects of ourselves before, yeah, and taking 100% responsibility for what is in the arising, and also acknowledging that we have absolutely no control at the same time. But if it's in the arising, it's there for our own evolution. And so as within, so without, and then taking us back to do the inner work, to look at those limiting beliefs that we've inherited from our culture and our family and our religion, to look at the stereotypes that we're acting out, or the roles that we've taken on and what we've identified with, so that we can move towards an authentic relating with the other, so that our attraction, so that we're working with our inner world, so that what we're attracting becomes clearer. I guess the clarity, the inner clarity, that then gives a very direct message to existence. This is what I'm available for. This is what I really, really, really want. And doing the work of getting to that place. So that's a lot of what we will be exploring together on the course. And my personal experience has been that as each layer of the twists and turns that I made out of my true nature, my instinctual nature to fit in, to belong, to be loved, to be safe, as those unravel and unpeel and undo, I find myself falling into a state of bliss And I know that that is something that you've always spoken, a phrase that I really know you for is that bliss is our birthright. Perhaps you could say something about that.
Yeah, it's a sneaky one because that's a blessing curse. Yes. Absolutely. I love that description of yours of the journey, and then finding out in the depths of it. And in the depths, I mean, you're not using euphemisms, but you're using, what should we call it, palatable language. In the depths of the despair that relationships can take you into, in the depths of the absorption and the obsession and the craziness of it, and those things, and in the depths of the unrelenting boredom and whatever else arises, but strongly and deeply. If you're a tantrika, then these things go fast, and you don't do mutual negotiations about I won't tread on your triggers and you won't tread on my triggers. No, you get on the triggers. And where the bliss cometh from, I'm sorry, it's all got harsh and rocky and horrible and ugly, but there we go. Where the bliss comes in is as one feels the richness, the fullness, the hate and the love. The hate's there too. If there's love, there's hate, you know. Both polarities arise, becoming more aware in that. And reaching the synthesis of any of these polarized conditions. You know, like you have your attraction, repulsion. And then if you listen to people like me and people like you, well, then you get encouraged to your attraction, repulsion. You don't get to partition it off into my attractions, this bit, and that bit. You know, like I love women, but I hate this chaos. Well, sorry, you know. But in finding that love, that hate, that two ends of whatever polarity, and then being with it, letting both ends of it be simultaneous in you. You know, the magic of that, the bringing the tension to the tension between them, keeping the attention on both of them, not retreating to some idea of middle ground, but being in the fullness of the full ground. And that brings one to bliss. And sure, bliss is the synthesis of all hurts and all delights as one suchness. It's not the Californian bliss, more happiness, more happiness. Sorry, Californians. I use a stereotype. It's rude, but I do that sometimes. But let's just say the Californian schools. But you know, the bliss of the beloved. I mean, all you have to do to really get that is take those words so steady, so slow, really absorb them, treat them like scripture used to be treated once upon a time. You know, to immerse yourself in and feel it, just that phrase or just those words. The bliss, the synthesis of all hurts and all delights as one suchness of the beloved, of that which absorbs, destroys, rules you, controls you, everything a beloved can do to you. Its existence's root to doing those things to you, to bring you to that bliss, the full, real, mature flavor of it. Yeah, I think we came to where I like to come to with this. I mean, I'm hinting at a huge can of worms, but we can look at those worms later.
Yeah, now's not the place for looking at the worms, but we can certainly mention that there's a very big can of worms indeed. You know, for me, I just can't see the point of being here if we're not willing to eat those worms. I mean, that's why we're here. And so I really am so grateful to Shakti in my life because she was the person who really first clued me to these subtle pieces that you're mentioning, and to the fact that I am all of it, and that my desire is creating my experience. And so many things, falling more deeply, the invitation she gave over and over again, two of them were, keep falling more deeply in love with yourself. And what do you really, 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 really want? And those are like mantras in my being. Thank you, Rahasya, for chatting with us.
Gorgeous to see you, Rhianne.
Yeah. Let's do this again soon.
Let's do that. Sure.
Yeah. And I am going to just invite anybody who is watching or listening to join us on the Soulmate Within, which starts on the 1st of February. You can find all the details in the link below. And if you're interested in connecting with Rahasya, you can find a way to do that in a link below.
And I have a little thing you maybe don't know about. A couple of Californian friends have been talking to me a lot on the Zoom thing. And so the idea is that on Friday, our evenings, their mornings, I'm just going to be available, no particular format, and we just chat about what the Tantrikas bring to it. And I just invite on the group with just a simple little text advertisement, so only people who actually read will be there.
That's a brilliant idea. So we'll include that link in the info below for people to join.
I'll make that up probably maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's a shopping day. We'll see.
Cool. Okay. Mwah.
Good to see you. Yeah.